Welcome everybody. All right, so welcome to the Bookmap Academy. We were off for a bit. I was away, and we had some other things kind of going on. Anyway, we're back, and I think we'll be back for the rest of August unless there's something else that happens here. So good to be back. Good to kind of review because it's been a while. Just go through the goals and introduction of what this is, the Bookmap Academy. I think everyone in here pretty much knows, but if you're new in here, let me just show you. I'm going to go to bookmap.com and then click on the More button up here, and then go to Bookmap Academy under Community, and you can read about it here, and this is how you can apply and join. And there's a process here you can go through to actually there's steps: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You can get Bookmap for free in step 2. When you join, you won't even be in step 1. You'll be applying for step 1, the Bookmap Junior Academy. And then if you make it into the Bookmap Junior Academy, there's kind of a testing ground for your content. If you do well there, you can get to step 2 and get Bookmap for free. If you make a quota of both quantitative and qualitative, and it's only one per day, one piece of quality content per day. Anyway, let's move on, and let me see if everything's okay over here in YouTube. You guys can hear me? Let me just show you. Yeah, okay, we're good there. Let's see, what else did I want to go through here? We've run this before. We're doing it again. We're doing it in a different way. This is the Bookmap. It's a competition. It's the Bookmap Blue Jacket, and we're giving away a hoodie like this to the winner. All you have to do for this is very simple. Is you will use X, Instagram, or LinkedIn. You'll take a screenshot. You'll post it, and with your markups on your chart. Once you get it, it'll go directly to our Blue Jacket page. I'll show you here, and you'll see the content in here. All right, so you'll see the gallery of people posting in here, and this, what you can win. Well, it's right here in front of us. You can win 3 months, or earn 3 months of Global Plus completely for free. Yeah, over $600 of subscription value. You know, you might, if you're going to be marking it up for the Bookmap Academy, you might as well join and post on Instagram, X, or LinkedIn, with the hashtag. This is the important part. That has to be with the hashtag free blue jacket, and you're good to go. All right, now our Bookmap Academy, journaling to build our playbook is the goal. All right, through your chart markups, through your trading, and we have a top-down approach here, 1 through 4. And you'll note your setup here is the last one on the list. This is important because, like for today, the impetus, what's moving the market? Well, to me, there's a lot going on about. Well, we have a big day tomorrow in terms of data. It wasn't very good last month, let's see. We also have the Fed speaker. So this is not. You can see the markets don't really like this. Talk about having Powell step down or resign, and Waller step in if that's who it's going to be. Markets not too keen on that, or it seems to be selling off. Put it that way. Is that what's driving the market? Well, it's moving in markets lower, it seems. Then we're looking for our key levels on our higher time frame. Where might the market go? And we're marking those up. Then it gets into scenarios and picking your strategy. So scenarios like, where might it go into those key levels? From the beginning of the day, you're putting it kind of into time events. Maybe overnight, open, cash open, first hour, afternoon, and then the close. and then where might price go, previous highs, times of day, etc., VWAP, and then it gets down into the nitty-gritty with your setup. And this will help you select the proper setup for the day. It's important. It's really important. And then it's just execution at that point. You should know your setup quite well. If you don't, that's fine. Start with something. Get good at it and learn along the way. Grade your setup, determine your sizing, etc. And then you just execute and manage it as you would any other trade setup. The criteria for the Bookmap Academy, as I mentioned, one trade per day marked up on your chart. And then we're looking for these 1 through 4 call outs here and others, whatever works for you. And then we're looking for, it has to be quality, and we're looking for progress as you go through the 3 stages that we've talked about many times over in here. Anyway, you're building out a playbook. Let's go through the disclosures, and then we'll jump into some of your guys' charts. So we open up the mic for you and let you talk. All right, general disclosure. All Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so that said, let's see, Vinny, we're going to jump right over to you. And I believe this one is yours here.
Jumping to me, are you?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, all right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I want that hoodie.
That's what
That
people are saying.
Cool.
Yeah. They're looking to. Well, you gotta win it.
I'm going to work on it. I'm working on it.
Excellent.
All right. We have Trading is Life.
Yep.
Is that correct?
We're going to bring them right up to the stage. Welcome, Trading is Life. And you might have stepped away for a second. There he is.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, Bruce, welcome back. Glad to have you back.
Thanks. Good to be back. So let's see, Vinny, take it away, or Trading is Life, take it away, and your coach here had marked it up as well.
Yeah. I guess I can start with just going over your Trading is Life, and yeah, it's great to be back. I mean, we've been away for a few weeks, so I feel refreshed. So let's rock this. And regarding your trade, yeah, and your setup, fabulous. We've been watching you, grow, for the past several months, and it just seems to be nonstop upward. And you're really fine tuning your strategy and your system here. And this is just another example of what you've done. I mean, you've really started annotating your charts, which is exceptional, and it's clearly displayed your strategy on your chart as well. So I was able to go ahead and I mean, really kind of look at it, in detail and know what you were doing. For example, you have your trend structural break as you define, which is terrific. You did talk about your aggressive accumulation and then your entry, and also you had your target. Looks like you had a target one up there of about 10 points, and then you looks like you let some of it run until for another, well, almost look for a total of 15 points. So I would like to ask if you can go ahead and please clarify your entry price. And number two, what role, I did see you put in some passive accumulation to the left of your trend break. And my question for that is, did that play a role in your decision making, or were you simply annotating that as well? Yeah, if you don't mind. So take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a strategy that I've been working really hard on. Where it's a four-step element, and as you can see, my long time frame where the price action went on a downtrend, and it went past some passive liquidity, which those passive liquidity, once they get past, I look at it as they're gonna turn into resistance. So once it hits my lower time frame, and then I saw the reverse, then I start looking at my aggressive accumulation, and yeah, that played a part in my entry, because if you can see, once the price started reversing, you see more green dots than red. So that's my aggressive accumulation. Then I waited for the pullback. Then once my long frame structure, um, it broke my long time frame structure. Then I look for the entry after the pullback. And I always target, my first target is always the very next swing of liquidity, which I took half of my profit off, and then I let a runner run to the next swing of liquidity, which was a heavy liquidity right there. So I know it was gonna pull back before it got to break that liquidity. So I fully exit the trade right there.
Okay, very good. So just to clarify, you waited until the pullback, and then you had a break in the structure, and that's when you entered. Is that correct?
Yeah, I always wait for a pullback, correct. Once the it breaks in the long time frame structure, wait for the pullback, then I entered. Because if you can see, once it broke, it pulled back, then I entered. Then it just high volume just went swept that liquidity area, went right, and then it went right to the next liquidity, pulled back, and then shot right back up to the major liquidity area where I fully exit the trade.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and it looks like you had a 3-point stop loss. Is that do I have that correct?
You have that correct.
Okay, yeah. So
Which
your risk reward.
I manually trailed.
Oh, you
It
did
moved
manually.
up so I moved up. Excuse me. No, I usually manually trail. It moved up so quick. I didn't even get a chance to manually trail it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it looks like your first liquidity target was about a 3-to-1 ratio. So outstanding. Yeah. Really good. Terrific. Hey, let's toss it on over to Bruce.
Wow. Trading his life. This is awesome. I mean, you marked it up very clearly. You saw it very clearly. You articulated it very clearly. You have a mechanism for your entry. I love that you waited for the pullback in here. And now, I mean, to me, this is a really beautiful example, because everything you articulated is unfolding here. And this pullback in here is low volume on the sell side. You might see a little blip down here on the red bars, but that's it. Now, what do you get back up in here? You get more buying. This thing's ready to go. This is 1, 2, 3, and then it's break. And you clearly saw it, and you managed it also extremely well. Right up to your first level of liquidity. It kind of pulled back a little bit in front of it there. Makes sense. There's a swing here, but you waited for the liquidity. Hit it, kind of pulled back again, and then you got one more push. Took your profit up here. That was what you were looking for, and this is picture perfect. You nailed it. Not much more I can say here. I mean, maybe this was the low of day as well. What was the time here? I don't see the time in the timeline. You remember?
I do not remember, and I apologize if I cut that out.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'd just be kind of curious on the time of day. But
I thought
man,
it recorded the time. It didn't.
huh? Well, yeah, I'm just kind of curious because, like, we've got low a day here, which is obviously that's your key level, and the
If
Yeah,
I put
Bruce.
lower date, so it was definitely after 12 o'clock because it was if it
okay,
was before that I would have put ORB. If it
okay,
so that was I put lower date, that was a new low of the day that it created after afternoon.
got you.
Yeah, guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have the chart up. Looks like the low of the day occurred almost just after the open, or right at the open. So just shortly, right at the open. That's what it looked like from yesterday, because it's August 6th. This was yours from yesterday. Is that correct?
This is from this is the 7th, correct? Yeah, this is from yesterday. That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so I have the chart over here. Looks like that low occurred initially right at the open,
Really?
or,
So
or about a half hour after the open. I'm sorry. Go
this
ahead.
this
I will
this
have the
this
open,
looks
yeah.
kind of like the open here, but I don't know. I mean, I just see a lot of
It, ha-
volume there.
it had to be after 9:45 because that's the new low of the day. Because
Ah,
it had to be after 10 o'clock. That's why I
Yeah,
put
he's
the
right.
low of it.
He's right at about 10. You're right.
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, I really, I mean, like, fantastic. This is something, trading is life, I really love. First off, your risk reward, you were waiting for it, you saw it beautifully, and then this pullback though is fantastic. You waited for that to unfold, then you saw this, it confirmed it, and then you get in. Did it even go against you a tick?
No, that's why I didn't even get a chance to manually move my stop loss. It just shot like a rocket.
Yeah, yeah. These are like, it always reminds me, like, it trades like this is like, why can't it be like that every time,
Exactly.
so anyway,
So,
great.
oh yeah, I just had one comment. It just occurred to me. Training is life. I was just curious. Did you prep for this? Did you anticipate maybe if it hit a certain level that you may take this long, or if it hit a certain level, you may take it short? I was just curious if there was any kind of prep leading up to this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I was prepping for it because, like I said, if you see I was looking at my criteria because, like I've been practicing this strategy, and I've been studying it like a test, even when I'm not in front of the computer. Step criteria one, passive aggressive. So as it's unfolding, I'm saying it to myself. I say, okay, criteria one is met. The passive aggressive. Criteria two is met. It hit my low of day. Criteria three, I'm looking for it to break my trend line in a pullback. So once I follow these things, I was already ready to go. I already had it in my mind. Once I had a visual, once it hit this price target, I'm jumping in.
Outstanding.
That's great. I mean, just the decisiveness as well. You know what you're looking for, and you're jumping in. Let's see. Hey, I see John. John is in here. John, would you like to? Do you have a time to join us on the stage here?
I'm gonna bring my caller back. All right.
I'll invite you up if you're around. But would be great to have you. There
Thank
you are.
you.
Hey, there you are.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good to hear you. I missed your voice. Um, so this chart is everything what you said. I agree with. In trading his life, he's really doing a good job identifying the liquidity. And I noticed it on all his charts. He's marking the passive accumulation and the liquidity levels very nicely, and he's letting that set the condition to determine whether or not he's going to trade. And that's wonderful. I'm just wondering, you had a lot of liquidity above right after it looks like 8:30, I guess, to the left of the chart, and you had some pretty decent volume coming in here. When you see that much liquidity up there marking, that's quite attractive, and I think I've seen that on your charts where you're waiting for the turn to get in, and I'm just wondering, um, perhaps you could consider taking those when they're that densely populated up there with liquidity. You follow me on the way up? You've got a lot of liquidity and a lot of volume coming into the market with those large bubbles, the large dots, and that's something that's very tradable. And then they go away. The liquidity gets filled or canceled. There's not much below, and then below you start marking liquidity where you did. That's beautiful, and that's a turn. You have selling liquidity coming into the market, coming down to where Bruce is marking that liquidity below. And I'm not sure you have to wait for a trend line to break when you had that flip of liquidity, when you had that transition. Now, you marked your trend line perfectly, and I think that's appropriate there because you really didn't have the liquidity coming up as much as you did coming down or the previous run up. I mean, you had some coming up here and you had the volume coming in, and it's a great trade. So you were wise to wait for the pullback. And I would anticipate a pullback because that liquidity wasn't so predominant coming up on your trade. Talking kind of fast. Do you follow what I'm saying? Trading is life.
I'm following what you're saying totally.
Okay. Okay. And I've seen that on a lot of your charts, and and you're taking some of it, but I'm thinking, he's marking it so good. He ought to be making more money because you're marking it, you're seeing it. And I just think that in your review time, have a look at that. When you see that liquidity so pronounced in here on the way up, that you can trade that. That's a good trade. And when it's not there, you're not trading. Right?
Yeah, I hear you. It's just the fact that I'm working on this edge, and I don't want to throw
Sure.
anything with and confuse
Absolutely.
myself.
Absolutely.
So I just want to keep
Yep.
until I refine this strategy, so I
Yep.
know it inside out. Then
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
consider other stuff. But I already have the strategy I'm looking for. So as you telling me this, I'm seeing it, but I'm so focused on creating that edge, that strategy, that I don't see it. I'm only looking for what specific thing that I'm looking for.
Sure. One step at a time. Absolutely. But you can see in this chart, it's beautiful because it does tell the story.
Yeah, I see it now
Marking
when
the
you're telling me.
Yep, marking the liquidity coming up. In my work, I either have this or I don't even look any further. It must have this kind of liquidity picture. Otherwise, I don't have a trading condition. And that's, if I had to say one thing about Bookmap as my favorite, that's it. It starts at the heat map. And if it's there, great. If it isn't, I just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope that's
fantastic.
right, Bruce, because I got that all watching you.
I was kind of
Good.
it's hard to I should just give you the pointer somehow. I don't know how. I mean, or maybe you have to guide me because I was pointing over
Yeah,
here. You were talking
you were
about
you
this
were
here.
following it. Yeah, on the
Okay.
way up, you
Okay.
see how dense that is up
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you had a lot of volume there. So you had volume and liquidity working together in that direction. That's a tradable condition,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then you don't. The liquidity goes away above, and then it starts to fill in below,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right where you're talking about, right? And then you had some, but you had a major trend of the break of the trend line. But really, in terms of liquidity, early on was the in fact that would have been my favorite because the liquidity at the target price of trading his life, his trade, that really didn't come in until the trade was well on its way, right? That liquidity up there near the nearest target, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't there when he turned, right?
No.
As much. That kind of
Uh,
built as that kind of trade. That trade kind of developed for him. Um, I like to have it there, kind of
Well,
like early
he
on.
did put it. I mean, like, yeah, I hear you, John.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
He is kind of pointing to this liquidity
Yep.
here,
He is.
and then
Yep.
that's where he put his target.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. No question about it. But I mean, early on, it was there the whole time. Those three levels of liquidity over there to the left.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically when it turned, it was there. So, but no, he's doing a great job, and all his charts are the same, where he's marking it effectively. A plus.
Yeah, yeah, way to go. Let's see. You got another one here for me, or is this this is another guy here? No, this is
This is another guy. Yes,
okay,
another guy.
okay. I do not see him in here. And you also have slowdown, and I don't see him in here either.
Correct. I slowed down. I thought slowdown's chart was really good, and it was one I really wanted to kind of go, speak about. And I'm assuming he is not here though, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's right. Maybe
So,
we can bring his up because I'd like to talk about his at some point.
okay. Do you want to cover this one as well? I mean, this is a new guy.
He is new, yes. I wish he was here as well because I would have liked to have asked him to educate us even more on his strategy, and I can just breeze through this really quick. Yeah, he had a really good checklist in his write up. He talked about bookmap absorption. He has a strategy with a PLC flip and retest, and I was hoping he would go ahead and share a little bit more about that and CSDs. And he also talked about the DOM with a low volume and the S&P to the downside. So there were a number of topics that I wish he was here to Crypto to go over and talk to us about and expand upon his strategy, because what he had here was really just terrific. The way he went ahead and executed his trade. He had liquid resistance, he had lower highs, he had the trend break. So he actually put in even more factors into this. So I think maybe next time when he's here, maybe he can go over this with us a little bit more thoroughly, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds good. I really like the absorption and the trend break also. But this here is kind of worrisome to me, at least. It's right in front of some event at 10 o'clock. And I'm not sure what it is here, but some volatility there for sure. But yeah.
Good point. You're right.
Anyway, yeah, okay. So if he pops in, then maybe we can go over something more. But all right,
Sure.
let's jump over to slowdown.
Yes, slowdowns. Yeah, slow down. I thought this is a really good. This is something that we had talked about a month or two ago, Bruce. I don't know if you remember, but I think his name was Drew. He had something very similar to the low volume node, low volume zone, and which is a terrific strategy that can be applied in using the DOM here in our Bookmap with some of our members. Slowdown, what he did here was I had to take a look at it a little closer, because typically when you have these low volume nodes or zones, there is a substantial climb, so we're leaving a gap. And I did an insert over here, an insert. You can disregard some of the light blue shadings in there, but it just shows that the insert shows a substantial run up, and sometimes it can go up so fast it leaves a low volume node, a low volume zone. And that's what he picked out. He picked this out using the DOM, and this is a strategy that can be applied to some of the Bookmap members who also use the DOM. But what happened was we had a quick run up, and then we had a slow decrease toward that liquidity zone, the low volume zone. And what he did really good here, and this was actually occurred, I know he has 521, but it actually occurred just a few weeks ago on July 21st. So he identified the low volume node in the DOM, and this is where also the liquid support was also located. And he really zoomed in quite a bit on this. He zoomed in a 2-minute micro scale time frame to really kind of zero in on his LVN, which was just terrific. And also, my question was really, I wanted him to expand upon some of the strategies behind the low volume zone in the DOM. And also, I had some questions regarding his target. Did he target the higher liquidity? And if he did, I wasn't sure if he scaled out at all or not. So that was one thing that I had a question about. And also, there was another question I had regarding that insert, because typically, like I said, these these low volume nodes or zones usually occur after a substantial run up, and it leaves a pocket of low volume, and so you have a pullback. And he annotated that, which was outstanding on the chart. Also, he used the session volume, in the chart, used to identify this LBN, and perhaps using the RTH, the range, regular trading hours might have been more advantageous for him and for others in the room, and those of us in the room who would like to know how to go ahead, and put that into the DOM, you can reach out to me in a DM. I think Shark Blue also does that too. I'm sure if he doesn't mind, I'm sure you can reach out to him. But yeah, so that's it. So I wish you was here to go over this a little bit more with us in detail. And sorry for talking too long. Let's throw it to Bruce.
Yeah, just a couple of comments in here, and then I'll turn it over to John or Trading His Life. You're still in here, so if you have any comments. But like number one, it's hard to see what else happened here. Well, I first off, I want to. There's a little confusion for me when he says it's in the DOM here or the dome. I think it's. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm getting a little too hung up on it, but like dome is depth of market. These are volume columns, and yeah, you can have volume columns in your dome as well, I guess. But like this is showing volume, not liquidity. So in this case, it's a low volume node, and there's tons of liquidity in there. So it's a great one because not only do we have a rejection here, meaning rejection is there's not a lot that traded there, but you also have massive liquidity. So a lot of people are willing buyers where there was previously rejection, and they don't even get filled. It doesn't even touch them. So if to get in on something like this, you're going to have to get in like aggressively, like he did right here. And not sure where he got out. It's probably maybe up here someplace. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it would be great to see a little bit more from the left-hand side. But I'm just kind of curious about it. Other than that, like this is actually something we have as a strategy in our learning center too. So from the bookmap.com, if you go there and then you go to education, this is a low volume pullback that we've got. So it's under here, and then I just marked it up here. So low volume pullback, and then it's right in here. So like you said, Vinny, strong, very, very strong volume, price is moving. And when you get this kind of movement, although there's strong volume in here, it moves through an area really, really quickly. Obviously, there's not a lot of back and forth. So it actually is, very low volume that transacts there. And then if you get a retest back up into those areas, that's where, you can look for maybe a good trading opportunity, because that's where there is that God, I know I marked it up as low volume in here, low volume node. Anyway, maybe I just mentioned it, but yeah, look for these holes though. And sometimes we get really hung up on it. You think like it might come all the way back up to here. It can be kind of tricky, or a lot of times you just don't get filled, just like these guys here. They did not get filled, but it's a rejection. And then if you get strong buy volume starting to come in, it's likely to pull away from it. I think it's a great strategy. That's all I've got for it. I mean, it looks like he traded it just great.
Yeah, you're right, Bruce. Yeah, when I first looked at it, yeah, I knew there was more to this puzzle looking left. And
Yeah.
and so I try to add that inset with that rapid rise up, and it forms a gap. But yeah, you're spot on.
I'm sorry then, Vinny, is this where it is, right in here?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
Got
you see
you.
the big green candle. Yeah, so I went back and just checked out his day in which he did this trade, and so I just did a quick screen capture. Yeah,
Got you.
so you can see the big green candle. That's his big run up.
Okay.
And then and that's the pullback that he was referring to. Correct.
Got you. Okay. Great.
Sorry about that for not clarifying.
No, I thought maybe it was here somehow, but like anyway, my fault, my bad on that. And
maybe that helped.
yeah, that helps. Let's see. I don't know, John, if you have any comments on this, or trading his life as well.
No, getting long at number 3, you're getting long mid-range. If you anticipate the turn, which he was correct to do so, I think, because you did have the liquidity above to shoot for, which the market actually did finally go. But I would think an entry, like a buy stop entry, just above the pivot down there, would be better rather than chasing it up.
So you would say maybe in here, or
I would. I
okay.
would. If you anticipate that turn up to liquidity, I think that an entry on a buy stop would have been a little bit better, and less risk, because, like I said, it puts you in the market mid-range there, and then you got to draw that down
Right.
to support again, and then back up. But other than that, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention or kind of comment on that too. Like for me, like it hasn't broken structure yet. It's still in a downturn here, and I'm kind of surprised it didn't even. Well, I guess it touched it in here a little bit, it looks like. But I would assume, like, or look for it maybe to kind of dip in there a little bit further, and then really zoom out. But you didn't get it. So I guess that makes sense though, because there's such a big move here. But the again, like there could look at a structure here breaking, or even a trend line breaking, and then you would be getting it at the same place again up here. But at least you have.
Yeah, you're not taking on that risk. Yeah.
Yeah, at least you're going with this volume in here and breaking of a structure.
Yeah.
Would you do something like that, John? Would you be okay? Because like here, I agree. This is pretty aggressive. But if it was over here, based on what we just talked about, would you be willing?
Yeah, I'd be coming in with the volume. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a funny question, because like it's the same level, but the conditions are totally different now.
Totally different. That's right.
And it's kind of funny. Like it's a funny thing that I learned in a weird way from let's see, FT71, and he's so precise and so good with his management. But he would always say, like, well, if I got in here, I would not get in here again. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, okay, I won't do that. Yeah, sure. But then, like, some weeks or months later, it's like, wait a minute. I want to get in here as much as I can. Like, here, I've got some risk on.
Yeah.
At the same price level here, this is looking great. This is like, you've got the flop that came out in the Texas Hold'em, and you're holding an ace, and an ace and a queen, and an ace and two queens come up in the flop over here, but here maybe it was just a queen came up, or something like that, if you guys follow. But it's the same price level, and you're adding more risk at the same price level, but it's still you still have a much more probable edge at that point. And I don't know, that's the way I kind of look at it. Others, like, they'll just say, well, I'm not putting on more risk at the same price level. It's a two different schools of thought there. Anyway, let's see. And I think that's it for slowdown, right?
Can we go back one slide, Bruce, real
Sure.
quick?
To
Just go back.
this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that the one? Yeah, absolutely. You know, you see where you had news come out at 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
No liquidity. There was no liquidity in the book there.
Yeah.
That's a bad place to trade, a bad time to trade.
Yeah.
See, before that, you had liquidity in the market, which sets the condition to trade.
Right.
And then you know that's on the schedule. The market knew that was on the schedule. Nobody wants to take a risk. This market can do anything, and that's why it did that. There was no liquidity there. So if you're in the market during that time, buckle up, because that can really go really good or really bad.
Yeah.
And I'd rather not be exposed to that. And the heat map will tell you. You may not have had that on your schedule or knew that news was coming out, but the heat map told you there's
Yeah.
no liquidity in there.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that point to underscore the importance of having liquidity as a condition to trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I don't know. Like, well, I guess, yeah, you probably saw it a bunch, John. I mean, you never know. Kind of like you're watching your charts sometimes, and it's like, wait a minute, it's kind of drying up. It's getting kind of dark there. Like, what's happening? And there's some new, like, maybe there's some geopolitical tensions. There's nothing on the events calendar, but there's some sort of unscheduled news that is unfolding, and the market doesn't like it. They don't like the risk. So when I see that, I either exit or scale down or don't trade.
I check my Twitter because chances are they announced that Trump's going to make an announcement. I see that. It's true. Yeah, so it may not be something like on the economic calendar, but there may be an announcement that's pending, and liquidity will dry up. It'll get dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Which again is just a bad place to be.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my
Totally.
view.
Totally.
Hey guys, yeah, I concur with you. Yeah, I mean, you do have that news release out there, and you have to decide: do you want to be in it when do you want to be in a trade when a release is imminent? That's number one. And just to go back to that other trade with slowdown, if you don't mind, just real quick, again, I just want to refer, because there is actually a couple strategies that are in slowdowns. A picture here. One's with the low volume node, and then two, there's actually a fair value gap that developed. But that's another topic that we can talk about at a later date. So and that's how much I like what he posted here, and that it's too bad we didn't have him here to talk even more about the bigger picture. But that'll be at a later date. But thanks for letting me chime in and say that.
Yeah, sure. So let's see. Nothing else on any of your charts here? Trading is Life, or the new guy here, or
No.
slowdown?
No, crypto, everybody did great. So thank you. Yeah, thanks everybody. Outstanding. Good progress.
Okay, let's see. AB Crypto, and let's jump over to Moby. And hold on, guys, just a second. So actually, Moby has Laura, and Laura's not in, which is surprising. And then did she also, or did he also cover John? I guess it's just Laura. Anyway, and did Laura happen to pop in? No. Okay. All right. Well, we can go over and let's jump in here. Sometimes Laura is over on YouTube checking it out, and it's quite late her time. But anyway, let's see. Well, I think I saw this trade from her, and I like the way that she does do this overview like this, so we know where things are, how they're developing in a bit bigger picture. Like, here's the open over here. This is the move down, and then she's got her POC, it's moving down, and then she's drawn in her trend lines in here, and then marks up, this is the next trade. This is what she wants to look at. So we go back over to this one and look in a little further here, and let's see. So she has marked up here 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's got her passive accumulation on 3+ levels. So she's got liquidity getting filled on the way down, meaning that all of these sellers are hitting into these buyers here, this passive limit buy orders. We get one more push down here into a key level, which she marks up here on her higher time frame. This is yesterday's opening range breakout, and I don't know what the M is for that, or is that an H?
An H.
Okay, on I guess an hour opening range break. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's her level, and then she's got the passive liquidity. She knows the buyers are in, and now she's got her trend line in here, break of structure, and now she's looking for the aggressors and the aggressive accumulation, very much like trading is life, and yep, you can start to see that the green dot's starting to come in, and she jumps right in, and she's looking to ride that right back up into previous swings and liquidity as well. I mean, this is looking pretty picture perfect to me. She's also got some. She says we're. Oh, okay. It's CVD. She's got her icebergs and her stops, but she's also got CVD down here, and CVD is the purple. So it is dropping like a rock here, and then it fails to kind of go lower in here, and what's the white line in here? Oh gosh, sellers were pressing, but couldn't bring it lower. Maybe that's a part of her CVD. It might be another CVD line that she has. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's some divergence there for sure. You can see that in the white line, and she gets in and does a great job here. I don't really have any comments on this. It's kind of a beautiful execution. Vinny baby.
Bruce. Yes, Bruce. All right. Yeah. Hey, you hit it on the spot. It almost looks like similar to what trading is life is strategy was. And, I tell you, Bruce, you definitely are creating a great team here. And Loris is another fine example of a very similar structure that you have in mind. I did read Moby's quick write-up. He did talk about the trend break structure. He really liked that, as well as her use of the CVD. There were some questions about maybe, if she was here to define a little bit more of her target. But yeah, her setup here is exactly what you said. This is another trend line strategy that's being used. Her system. Yeah, she waited, and obviously she uses the orb in it as well. But she has her checklist in place, passive orders accumulation on 3 levels. Right? She talked about a break in the structure and trend line and aggressive accumulation that we just talked about with trading is life, and she sure took advantage of this thing with an entry after the break, and she just took it right on up to to right where the target was at that swing high, and right where the liquidity was as well. So bravo to her. You're really putting together a great team, Bruce. Nice job. How about we throw it to John? That's okay.
Yeah, John.
Well,
Well, I don't know, John. I don't know.
Look, first day back.
He scares me. He scares me.
First day back. Oh, God. No, I think the pivot low was critical. That 1042. Um, Perhaps some stops were run there a little bit, and then it turned. That's what makes that trend line to me work.
Yeah.
And so a brilliant entry, but I really like that part. I always like to see them fail. I always like to see them push it, run some stops, and then turn them. They used to do that to me all the time. Um, and then it turns, and she enters, and the rest is textbook. Really good, but I love that. I love that failure to the downside at 1042. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. This
that's
is
really revealing.
any questions or comments, John, on her trade management in here? I'm just kind of curious, like, if you reflect off of this, like, would you be getting out maybe some up here, or would you be waiting for the swing and the liquidity up here?
I agree with the target, but I would have been taking some intermediate off, such as like at 135, something like that, halfway up where I could find some liquidity,
Yeah.
right in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been taking a partial there, and then I would be moving my stop up to protect, and then right at the west. But I do ride it the rest of the way. But I love her target. That's lovely. That's going right up there to liquidity. But I would have taken. I would have wanted to take a partial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really pretty. And also a comment on her stop, I guess, like, not sure. Usually she trails it, or she's got something, but in this case, I don't. I just see entry and target.
Yeah.
And that's
But I,
fine. If you have a mental stop or how you want to handle that. I mean, a lot of times, we've talked about that many times. Some of us really like it really tight. Others like to have it set far away and then kind of move it up when we get kind of a feel for what's going on, etc.
but you
So
can see right after she entered, some liquidity came in right under her at 120. So just under that liquidity would have been fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
For a stop placement for me.
yeah. Yeah, I love what you mentioned, John. Like, this is actually one of the uh, elements. I have to mention here that I kind of kept it out of uh, the trend line break and accumulation from the supply and demand course, just because, like, it might have been a little too much, but this is such a beautiful thing. You can see it in this one here. You get this total capitulation. It runs the stops. Everyone pukes out. There's no one left to sell. It hits liquidity. Even this one is great. It even hits the liquidity down here, and then the buyers just start to accumulate. But this is such a, like, what actually, it was kind of funny. What kind of uh, really helped was, it was Vale fan who was trading stocks, and he's looking for his cam levels and liquidity, and then he's looking for, like, this big hammer candle, and that hammer candle is typically the capitulation, the stop run below, and it was always below. Well, it wasn't always, but many of the times it was below his cam. And then it popped up, and then, like, once price goes above his hammer, he's in. And I think that's a great way to kind of to read it. And it's the same in here. We just have better insight, I think, with the understanding it is a stop run, and we have the liquidity heat map as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a beauty at a key level. Is just a beauty, I think, to lean against.
That chart's painful to look at because you could put my name on that bottom dot for years. I promise. Oh God. It was gosh awful. And since Bookmap, now I wait for it. Kind of like what you were just saying with the hammer drop
Yeah.
with Valley Plan. And now I wait for it. And as a consequence, I'm now getting in where I would be getting stopped out before.
Yeah. That's
And
just
that's the
beautiful.
difference of having that insight. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Quite
mean,
powerful.
like this is actually very similar here. Like, was it in this one here? Yeah, it was 21,000, right? So your key levels here,
Yeah.
but here's your capitulation. This is your flush through,
Yep.
and then wipes everybody out. Or like people say, okay, well, if it goes below 21,000, I'm in, and then they're just getting ruined on the way up.
And if you add in the on chart stops and sweeps indicator, sometimes you can see that. You can see where they sweep it down, they sweep the market,
Yeah.
and hit some stops. That's like a double whammy for a reversal.
Yeah.
That's lovely to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You look at the sweeps, and do you look at absorption too, or just mostly just the sweeps?
I don't look at absorption. I look for sweeps and stop runs.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right.
And so just for the audience, I don't know how many are in here, but note that the sweeps that comes from the MBO data, market by order, and what that means is that they're identifying a single transaction ID. So a sweep is actually created by one trader. He's going to run some stops. It's one guy. It's not like the market swept the book. That's a stop run. A sweep is a single order ID, which is pulled out by Bookmap. And so oftentimes I see that as disingenuous that one guy's pulling this off or one trader's pulling this off to the downside and then it reverses. It seems to me that it's more likely that we'll get a reversal if that is indeed a sweep generated by one trader.
Yeah. 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 Good stuff. Let's see. Any other comments, Vinny, on Laura?
No, Laura's a rock star. She did great.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so let's see here. I think we got another few actually from her. Let's jump in. All right, because they are really good. They're really good models here or examples. Same thing. Trendline break and accumulation, and the same instrument. NQ seems to be your favorite. And bigger picture here. We've got the trend down, and then this is her area of execution in here. So let's jump over to that and bump it up. All right. So interesting. So here she's got it kind of reversed a little bit. Like number one is her passive accumulation. She marks up here, but her key level is actually way up here. So it is actually selling off through her key level in this case, and that would be the initial balance low. Oh god, this is just brutal. If this I don't know what happened this day, if this continued on up a ton afterwards, but below the initial balance, all these people thinking it's accepting lower, I'm getting short, everyone's going short, and they're just going to get annihilated. Anyway, she's got her passive accumulation, okay, with the liquidity, and then starts to look for the trend line break. She gets it on a smaller trend line, and then she's starting to note the aggressive accumulation in here. And then she gets this little break of structure on two fronts, actually, it looks like. So she gets it here on this one, and she also gets it here on the trend line. And then she starts to see that buying coming in. She gets in. I don't know, it might have gone against her maybe a tick or two. But she just takes it right up to in front of that liquidity. Beautiful trade, Laura. Vinny, jump in.
All right, I'm jumping in. All right, yeah. Hey, here we go again. Same thing. Rinse and repeat, isn't it? She has she's using her same system and her same system that she has in place over here. I'm assuming she's, if she was here, she could probably expand upon this regarding her setup using the passive accumulation on 3 levels. I believe, as well as her previous trade as well. Yeah, she did it again. She waited to her break in structure. She waited aggressive accumulation. She's on a smaller time scale of 2 minutes, and she just waited, and she took advantage of it. Yeah, and it seems like her favorite chart is the NQs, and yeah, the same thing. Not really much to say. She took it right up to that liquidity as well for a target, and I was just trying to check out to see how far did that go, and that might have been it for the day as far as the highs. But
Oh, really?
yeah, same
Okay.
thing, same structure, same format. Yeah, she's on it.
So July 29th, this was the high of the day, somewhere around up here.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. When I'm looking at it, I can see it was moving up there. Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's
I could be wrong.
She's also got the 50 level here as well, kind of around her IB. Just a note there. So, okay. John.
Okay, so you can see as the market was making its way down and she's showing it hitting liquidity, the liquidity above stays in the market, and that's why her expectation is to the upside. Even though that market was coming down, that liquidity stayed in the book to the upside. You had some accumulation for some iceberg activity as it was coming down, and then she went long at the trend line. But the main thing is that liquidity above, which I think I would have liked to have seen her annotate that, circle that, because that's the impetus for the trade, right? That's the reason why when it does break that trend line, without that liquidity up there, that would not be a trade for me. Probably wouldn't be for her,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Good point. Let's jump back here to the so her bigger picture was this. And so here's her trade here. Right, you can see her entry and her exit. Entry here and exit here. And what time of day here? So this is the 9. Yeah, this is 9:30 cash open here. Okay. So this continued trend lower on the 29th, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have any other comments. There's not too much to comment on. It's pretty straightforward stuff. So should we move on to her last one here?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Oh, this is a beauty here, this flush. Let's see. Okay, so this is her bigger picture. And RTH she's got here. Looks like it's probably right around here. Move to the upside, and she's got a few different trades in here actually. But this is the one that she wants to highlight. The inset, I guess this is yeah, okay, this is it here. She's pointing to it right here, right? Okay, so on the way down, it looks like the same pattern here, same thing. Let's jump into her trade setup, and yep, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 being passive liquidity, getting filled all the way down. Yesterday's volume profile here, and the trend line break on a pretty aggressive trend line here, and then starting to note the accumulation though along the way, and then it looks like she took her profit up here by this swing here, and maybe some of that liquidity in here, as it looks like some came in here. There was some liquidity here and then also some up in here, and then obviously quite a bit more up here. I'm sorry. So it looks like she did get. This is a whole nother trade, and that's another. Is that a buy? Hold on, I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I believe she after looking at it, I believe okay, I might be looking at a different one as well, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like this is a buy. So she entered. It looks like she made her entry price.
Oh, this is the entry.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the entry.
that's
Yeah.
the
Right.
entry.
So
This
she
is
That's the
entered-
exit. That's the exit.
yeah, got you.
Yeah, and it must have just missed her stop, I believe.
Yeah.
So my question would be is why would she enter at that particular point if she was
She's
here?
late.
Yeah.
She's late. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty late to the game here.
Yeah, and with that,
But it didn't hit her stop, so maybe she saw something we didn't because she wrote it on up all the way up to the liquidity for a for profit. So there was a couple of questions if she was here that I would go ahead and ask her. Number one, her entry. Well, how come she didn't enter it right by her trend break number 4? And so that would be, and then also, I mean, where her entry is could be almost where her exit could be, where her target is, where that liquidity is up there as well, just above her entry price. If that,
Yeah, totally. I agree. Right in here. So John, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say, at number 4, she's late there, and she's late after a fast run up. If you're going to be long, you want to be long on those slow grinding moves up, like where it did afterwards, after it pulled back. So I think there's 2 reasons not to get long there. Number 1, fast doesn't last, right? She's getting in there at the top of that fast move to the upside after room number 4, right? She's anticipating a continuance, but that doesn't surprise me where it falls back. And then you get that relatively slow grind to the upside, and that's what lasts. That's the one you want to be in, to the upside. If you want to be in a fast market, you want to be on the downside.
And that's an excellent point to bring up as well, John, and also Bruce, is sometimes, it's also the mental aspect. Sometimes, our theory says, hey, we have our theory, it's worked, and I'm late. I'm going to enter anyway. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and that might have been the case here. Her theory was correct, and she just wanted to enter, or anybody, might have entered, and as an impulse maybe, right? Because hey, our theory worked. I want to get in on it.
What do they always say, Bruce? Bears take this. What's it? Bulls take the stairs, and bears jump out the window.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, you want to be with that slow progression to the upside, and try to avoid those impulse moves to the upside. Getting in at the top. That's she'll learn. You can get clipped a couple of times doing that. That'll fix that. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this academy is all about, is to be able to look at this and then reflect and go, okay, hey, this was that fast move, and I've been in this so many times. I mean, you guys have seen me in even some of the webinars. It's like this was such a fast move and powerful move. You've got the volume here and everything, that I'm looking for a continuation like that, and it kind of did it actually, but it didn't come up to here though. It came out only to that level there, and then it pulled back, and then it grinded all the way back up. But something I really like that she marked up here is I think she's doing a great job marking these all up, and has reasonings behind it here, but she's marking up the aggressors before the break of the structure. This is really cool, I think, because how many times do we see that, like on a head and shoulders pattern? Now this is a double bottom, but like a head and shoulders pattern, you start to see this come in, and you use heavy selling to the downside. You start to see some aggressors come in, but they just don't have enough. Heavy selling again, or less heavy, but still heavy selling to the downside. More aggressors start to come in, less selling here, like down in here, and you can see it. This is a great example. Look at your bar here, look at your bar here, right? So on your double bottom in here, you're gonna have divergence. You know that. You don't even have to look at CVD, and you know there's going to be divergence in here. And then she knows the aggressors again, but now she's got a couple of different structural breaks. She's got the trend line break, and there's also a break of this structure right here, and this volume looks beautiful. So you know, you can, I think you can be a little more aggressive, either like trading as life, got in up here, or you can look for this in here as well.
Entry on a stop. Yeah. Because the other thing you have going for you, Bruce, as you were just talking about, and I've seen this in some of her other charts, she's noting the liquidity coming down as it comes down, and then below the low, that shuts down. There isn't any liquidity down there, not until you get down a lot lower. But that same stair step kind of disappears after it breaks the trend line. So to me, trend lines are great, but you couple it with the liquidity picture, then you've got like a nice 1-2 punch, and that's what she had there.
Yeah, really pretty stuff.
Yeah, she's done a good job.
Yeah,
and she's really done a nice job over time cleaning up her charts. A lot less noise. I love it.
Yes. Vinny, any other comments?
No. I thought you actually highlighted something that I didn't notice, was that head and shoulders, you know, and that could be a nice little scalp, considering that's a head and shoulders on a downtrend that you could have taken advantage of as well. But yeah, and this is definitely on a very smallest time scale. I think it's only 30 seconds. So you know, you're able to go ahead and you know, be able to see that, obviously on the smaller time scale, where a larger time scale you may not be able to see that. But that's it for me.
Yeah. Just a note here, and I just keep bringing this stuff back up, guys, because it's still good reference materials. I mean, we've still got the materials, you know, if you want to go back and review. And even if it's old, it like the market mechanics course is still pretty evergreen stuff. The strategies and setups here that we did, and boy, I kind of embarrassed about it, but like I like it very much. I just wanted to put in a lot more in here. But this one here, for example, does articulate that on the way down. You know, like up here, there's really no buying. Now there's some buying, right? And then it continues down again. Well, the trend starts to kind of round a little bit, and then you know, more selling, but a lot more buying starts to come in, and that's you start to get that pattern in here. So for that head and shoulders, and it's a shift in the order flow, and that's what we're looking at in here. And she's marking up with 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep. Nice.
Wow, Bruce, nice going. Right in your video series too. This is on display. Well done. The both of you.
Yeah, thanks, Vinny. I just you know, we've got materials for it. So I mean, if you guys want to review some of those things, it's kind of evergreen stuff. It doesn't have to be all sparkly and shiny and from you know, yesterday. Anyway, let's see. I think that's it for Laura. Okay, and let's see here. Did we get? I don't think we got any Notion file from. Double check here. I don't think we got. We didn't get anything from Stan, right? I think he.
No, I didn't see that either. Correct. You're right.
Okay. So let's
see.
He
was busy, I think. I think he was away on vacation.
Right. Okay. I do have, though, something here to go over. And Duzman. All right, so let's see. Sure, I've got the right one. Okay. This is from yesterday, Duzman. So let me hold on a minute here, and I'll try to open them up in my links here, and then bring you up on stage here as well. So hold on just a second to kind of get these here first. Okay. Got it. And let's get you up on stage. Okay, so if you got your mic all ready, come on up, and we'll go over your content here. Yeah, hold on just a second, and all right. Let's see, Duzman, that I see you're typing now. Would be great to get you up here. Would love to open the mic for you. And I love it. You put in a scratch here. Let's see. Can't talk right now. Okay. Can you go next? Yeah, we can try to get someone else in here. Let's see. Let me go back to the coaching assignments here, and have here. It's too bad that Stan had some good ones, some good people to cover. Is Brian C in here? Let's see. About DNT matter. Let's see here. If I don't have your, let me see, get your spreadsheet here. All right, when there's a lack of these Notion files, I'm kind of scrambling here, but I think I got it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sorry, guys.
Bruce, we do have a couple. No, that's okay. We do have a couple of traders in here. We have Greeny in here, and we also have Shark Blue, and I did a couple of write-ups on them on July 31st.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just trying to go with we put together the schedule and what we're going to cover. And I just needed to kind of scramble to go find these, but thanks, Vinny.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, I got DNT in here, and let's get him up on the stage. All right. So this was actually from last week. So, but this is what I got here. Are you there? DNT.
Oops, can you hear me now?
Yes, there you are.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, no problem. No problem.
Okay, so let me see if I can find this real quick.
From the 25th. And you got 3 trades, you say. Looks like it's over here.
Okay. Let me pull it up real quick. Is that NQ?
Yeah.
It is NQ. Oh my gosh. Okay. So call me crazy for trading NQ. Well, I'm just kidding. Laura kills it. These were this I was trying to trade the setup that you have, Bruce, the trend line break and accumulation that we kind of covered a couple times today. So I took a first trade in the morning. You can see on the left with the red circle. Yeah, so the 25th. So that was the first trade. And the second trade was closer to, yeah, in the final hour. And so there's a couple things here. Okay, so when we're looking at the first trade, we if we look at the open, we can see the market move down and then impulse up, like with a strong move up. Now I'm looking to see if the market's going to pull back, if it's going to mean revert a little bit. And it really didn't. On my first entry, I show like a kind of like a wedge, like a trend line break, but it's almost in a wedge since it kind of had that impulse up. It's almost on like a bear bull flag at that point. Yeah. And so I'm trying to see if it's going to mean revert, but it doesn't really pull back. It doesn't really mean revert down. So I was trying for it. I was testing to see if it was going to happen. We even had ICE activating at that break, that trend line break, but it still didn't really mean revert down. So I think, I don't know if I took a full stop or if I took a scale or a got scaled on that or not. So I rate this kind of like a C plus setup because we can see that the market's against me. But really, if you look on the left, I draw the passive accumulation. I draw a couple as the market is moving up. I'm sorry, on the first setup. Yeah, that circle right there. We don't really see a whole bunch of passive accumulation for one. So that's already like not really for me on this one. It's not getting that passive aggressive. It's not getting that passive accumulation. And then the higher time frame, it wasn't really like at a higher time frame. It and then the break, it did have that break of that trend line of that wedge, and we also even had the ICE activating there too. We do see aggressive accumulation, but really what kind of set this to us like a C setup for me, the first trade here, was that it really didn't get that passive accumulation. So after this trade, I basically just took the afternoon off. I didn't worry about it. It went into the London close strong, and so I didn't really want to test it again. Really didn't want to fade it, but I came back during the final hour, wanted to try it again. And you notice it did get that passive accumulation while it was in lunch hours, and it basically grabbed all that passive sellers, all the supply, and then went into chop, and then in the final hour you get this release finally. So we got that passive accumulation during lunch, and the higher time frame wasn't quite there, I don't think. If I remember right, it was possible we might have been making all-time highs at this time as well. But it did break the trend line over the lunch hours, which is another thing. And then the last thing was the aggressive accumulation, and we can see the aggressive accumulation coming in around the final hour as well, pretty well. And the buyers start to fade off as well. So the things that we kind of mentioned in your structure and your setup there, it meets the bill in the final hour pretty well. But if you try to take it during the lunch hours, I mean, maybe you might have got it, but activating during that time, it looks like it might have been tough to kind of grab that during the lunch hours. But where I got in, I kind of got lucky, that it just kind of moved in my favor during the final hour there.
This heavy sell-off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, there's some nice things in here that I think you are mentioning. Well, first off, like, way to go to this, like, okay, I'm taking a break here, and don't feel compelled to trade, because, like, how many times, like, have I done that in the past, or we all have, and we just annihilate ourselves, and that's pretty mature thing to do. I feel is to just, like, take a step back, and then and then you wait for it to develop like you did here, and it's developed really nicely. Like, you noted all of this passive accumulation. There's a structure here. Basically, you started to note, like, I mean, you can kind of see it in here, that I'm drawing a trend line there, but, like, okay, yeah, it made a little higher high in here, but it's making a lower high in here. We're getting more volume in here, and then you see that again, more volume, and that's where you start getting in, and you're getting in on the entire pullback in here. And then, yeah, it worked in your favor, and you target right into high liquidity down here, so risk entry to target scratch. So maybe it looks like did you stay in this and then added to it? Is that what you did?
No, I screwed my entry up, actually. So on the second, so your second circle right there on the top right, yeah, that's where I actually entered, but I actually bailed out of the trade right at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I had held for my and missed the move, so then I tried to re-enter again, and it was just bad. I only entered 2 lots though on the bottom, to see if it'd keep moving down, and I got a scale, but then basically I just scratched on the trade. So I just really screwed that up by bailing out of the trade in general.
Okay.
But I noted my errors, and I noted my mistakes in a journal I have. So I basically, I need to focus on fear. So I bailed out of that trade based on fear, and and I noted that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's really great to hear, or commendable. Like, reflecting back off of it, like, why? What did you do? Really being honest with yourself about it. And then but that's really and that's a big step. The second step on top of that is, how would you do it differently? And how are you going to fix it? And the replay mode is awesome for that. That's something to take a look at.
Mhm.
And and then just bounce it around other people like in the Bookmap Academy here. So anyway, I've talked enough. I'm gonna push it over to Vinny baby.
You talked enough, Bruce. You don't talk enough. All right, we need to get more education from you because hey, what TNT just talked about, I think, is just a whole bunch of reflections that we can really even talk about outside of the mechanics. I'll just start with why don't I just go with the non-mechanical? He talked about his emotions, his mental approach, right? And sometimes that can overcome you and could cloud your judgment, with your mechanics. And so, maybe it's best not to be in a trade, number one, right? You get out. So I think that was really good. And then he talked about the lunch hour. Okay, sometimes when you're a lunch hour, you have low volume. And another aspect of lunch hour is what we call, this is off topic a little bit, but you talk about kill zones. 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. is when you have the highest liquidity, which traders really kind of focus on their system and their structure and their entries and exits pretty much during that time, that New York session, right? Just like they do in the London session between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. But besides that, now just to go back to your mechanics regarding the left part of your screen, I see you're in a 1 hour time frame over here. I might have been able to see it a little bit better if the time frame was a little lower, maybe 15 minutes to see what structure is being developed in this area. But I thought you had a pretty good idea. I just needed to be a little bit more clear because you had the run up. And there might have been some higher lows over here. I just couldn't see it because it did go up even further. And I'm assuming that the left part of the screen you were trying to go along with that. Do I have that correct?
My first trade was circled in red, where I have my arrow. Yeah, right there. I was shorting.
Oh, you were shorting it. Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I might have been able to see that a little better if it was zoomed in a little bit, but okay. The only reason why maybe I misheard you. The only reason why I thought that this could go higher is because we had that run up. It was consolidating and maybe some higher lows here, and it might have been taking it higher. So that would kind of be my view of the left part of the screen initially. But just to get back to the non-mechanical aspect regarding, you talked about your emotions, which was, I believe you said you got out of the trade, correct?
On the right side in the final hour, yeah, that's correct.
You did,
I
okay,
shorted.
yeah. Okay, that was good, right? Yeah. And then your most optimal time of trading time could be between the 8:30 and 11 a.m. session. But that's just some tangents for you. And that's it. I think I did enough talking. I'm the one that did enough talking. Let's throw it back to you, Bruce. So John.
Okay. Where you just circled, Bruce, up there, where it caused them to bail. That's unfortunate because if you consider just below that level is the call wall, a lot of the options that make up that call wall are 0 DTEs. So most of the time, market makers are going to push that market below that call wall to render those 0 DTE options worthless. They're not going to want to pay that. And that's probably where that sell pressure came in at the end.
Mm-hmm. On NQ. Yeah,
On
I see what
NQ,
you're saying.
on
Yeah.
NQ, yeah, I remember on NQ because when you had that run up before that, the options weren't rolling. And that's where the option study are very important to me. And Hero shows that very nicely. They were not rolling up, and neither was the QQQ. So that there at the end, like I said, if they can, and they usually do, they'll pressure that market to settle it below to where those options are out of the money and worthless. And that's where that selling pressure came in. So if you had that as a part of your plan, then you may have been less likely to get scared out. I understand, the pullback, and it's at the end of the day, but that's where those call walls and put walls and those gamma exposure levels, they become so important, especially at the end, because on the index, they're going to expire every day, and a big part of those gamma levels are 0 DTE. You
Okay,
follow me,
got
Bruce?
you. Yes, and notice the VPOC shift up. I mean, you have massive volume up there. It's
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine
I
all
understand.
those contracts being in the
Yeah.
money.
I
Yeah,
understand.
no.
And
They're
even though
like,
that
nope.
VOC popped up, they punched right through it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. Makes
A lot of
sense.
selling pressure there. Yeah. You
Very
follow me,
cool.
Bruce?
That's fantastic, John. Really, really great detail and wisdom there.
Why you pay me the big bucks, huh?
That's right. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
get.
but it really does. It really does have a tremendous effect. And if you ever wanted to get some background on that, Doug Pless does an outstanding job, really showing the influence of the option markets, of these futures contracts. It's a huge market. It's growing every day. Yep.
All right, you can. I guess you drop the mic.
No.
So.
yeah, it's great. I actually look for so like the volume accumulation up at the top, it was building volume basically all lunch hour. And then you get these the VPOC shift, and it like triggers like an algo reaction. And it kind of just it kind of just keeps mean reverting, and it coils even tighter in on that on at the VPOC, and then finally releases. My stop was actually above that previous swing too, so if I didn't take that off, if I didn't bail, that trade would have worked out. And it is what it is, but I learned from it, and continue on. But so thanks for the feedback, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Just that something just kind of piqued my interest. Like
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean I've seen this so many times with the VPOC. This is why I really don't like, me personally, I don't really like lines on a chart too much. It's like, what does the VPOC mean? Well, it migrated up here. It meant that down here, this was the most traded level until this point here, after all of this up in here. However, if we look at it over here, like how much more, now this also has, this is after the close. So, how much more volume actually traded over here? So I mean, look at the sell-off. It sells off down to the previous high volume node and previous swing down in here.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
is a range in here now, between VPOC and VPOC. And it's still a bullish day, like you'd said, DNT, and so it trades back up to it. And then you said it went quite a bit higher, right? I believe
After hours,
after
yeah,
hours,
I
yeah,
think it did make an all-time high in the ETH right there at that day. Yeah.
yeah. So
But you're right. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I just be careful with it, just because it's a line on the chart and it looks so good because it's so distinctive on the chart. This is a new VPOC, it's like, yeah, maybe just buy a couple of 10 or 100 in volume or something. It's it can easily float back around in those areas, and it just, at least that's what I always saw. Anyway, the another thing in here, DNT, is this is actually the mid-morning reversal setup in here. I like what you did with it. I just wanted to mention this because you have I can see your trend line in here, and you got a channel here. It broke. You went short, and makes sense. And again, though, like time of day, and we've seen this so many times that, like, I came up with a strategy for it, and it is from that supply and demand course. It's this one here, mid-morning failed mid-morning reversal. We've just seen it so many times. It's like It looks like, you know, you were going to get that reversal here. We're going to get that reversal. Nope. Like, you usually get kind of this double top in here, and the continuation happens later. So it's something to look for. I think it's more of a timing thing for the morning in the here on the East Coast trade. Anyway, look for some things in here that might help with the that setup. So
I really like that actually, because that is actually something I look for. If I were to zoom in and look at that, which is actually exactly what Laura has done, so she kind of inspiring on that, because you know this is like where you're looking for it to break down on like a little bit when you're zoomed out. So like an intermediate time frame, you're looking for this pullback around 11:30ish London close, but it doesn't actually get that pullback. It failed, like what you just said. So you zoom in, and then you can, if you see a break, you can have that continuation. So I mentioned earlier the London close was strong, and that's actually something that kind of helps me with context going into the lunch hours. If that London close is strong, it's something you really don't want to fade. If it's, and that's kind of like what happened here. But if you're inclined, you can take that in the direction of the strength, like
yeah,
kind of like what Laura was doing, where she actually took advantage of this like pullback here, and then she took it in the direction of the strength.
right, right. It's a whole nother kind of, like a either absorption or something happens down in here in this little area in here. But again, you need those aggressors to come in into this area here. They need to come in, and then the first stop would be up into the ranges or liquidity here. It did it, and then it just kept going, and then it pulled back again, and hit the top of that range again here, and then it bounced again though. And then, like you said, all this liquidity gets filled on the way up. So some nice stuff there. Let's see. I think that's it. We've got, it's almost we're coming up on a 2-hour mark. And Duzman, I don't know if you're ready. Do you have are you free? Yes. Okay. All right. D&T, I'll put you back in the audience here, and let's get Duzman up on the stage. And let's go over his trades. How can I find them? That's not it. That's okay. Right. They're here. Okay. Okay. Duzman, you have the stage. Duzman, I don't know. And we cannot hear you. It's a scratch trade. Looks like you got short here. And not sure where you got out. No, cannot hear you. Yeah, try rejoining. Maybe that works. I'm just kind of curious. So we got this one here. We've got another one. So it might be, is this the same? Is this the same trade? Might be the same. Same.
Hello?
Yes, there you are.
All right, wonderful. Sorry about that.
No problem. Let's see. We've only got about 10 minutes. I don't know if you want to just jump right in and walk us through the trade.
Yeah, let's go. So, to be frank, I don't remember this one specifically. I usually need the other chart, but overall, like usually what I do look for is like as it says high liquidity number one. This one is a short. So if it's a short, I try to look for the liquidity to support, as in like in this case, like liquid resistance, and price to come to VWAP, have it be resistance as well, and then take the short towards the other 1.1 high liquidity, and at least have my scale occur before that, and then from there hold another share down to a location. But for this specific one, I could find it on my end, but I don't know what I was looking at exactly when it comes to the locations.
Okay. How about, is this the same trade here? Looks like it might. I think it is day 7, day 7, day 7.
It's the same day, but it's a different trade. It's 17.1. So this one is different.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trade
it's
number 2.
different.
Okay. So here's your short.
And it's right below it, actually, right there.
Right here.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And then
Then I got stopped out.
and you got stopped. And where did you get stopped out?
At 340, like 6,340.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe back here or certainly here.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Okay.
It almost came on the first pop, and then it got me on the second one.
Got you. Okay. Got you. Yeah, I don't. It's kind of hard to again give I think feedback on it with the price action that we see here. But there's some good stuff in here. I mean, like it's going back and forth. There's a lot of things that I would like to see, and maybe you have it here. Yeah, you have it here. Okay, so we got time of day down here, and we have the volume bars, delta bars, which is great. Okay, so up in here, high liquidity getting filled, and although we have big volume dots, now you see the aggressors come in, another push back up. Very little buying, and now you're seeing a lot of selling. So I really like you saw that you've got some nice things in here, and I'm kind of surprised it didn't come back down to the bottom of the range here at least. Well, it did come back down into some of this liquidity down into here, but that was it, and that it just didn't really move too much, even though you have some of these things in here, especially these big red dots in here look pretty good. That we should get a continuation at least down to the this 63.30. Anyway, that's what I see. I don't know, Vinny, what you want to jump in and add some comments?
Hey, Bruce. Yeah, sure. I couldn't locate that in our room, so I think one of the aspects is some basics, regarding providing, like, as far as not only annotation but also a checklist, so that we can kind of follow through on what your system is. So that might be the first thing. A second thing is yes, when I look at this, for shorting, I do see a trend break, and I agree, with Bruce. And I also saw your other trade before. It didn't go all the way down to the liquid, and sometimes, it didn't go down to your target. And I don't believe I couldn't tell if you got stopped out or not. And sometimes, you almost can't teach that. It's like 80% of it is system and your structure and mechanics. And that other 20% is a little more subjective and objective, watching the order flow in order to make an exit, if that makes sense. So that's just my highlights right off the top here, and I'll throw it on back to you, Bruce.
I'm going to toss it right back to John.
So the imbalance for the most part of liquidity is above the price action collectively across the board. So I'm not seeing a case to be made to get short. And where you have sellers unable to break liquid support, where you have the arrow, if you are short in there, that would be your indication to exit. Over a little bit, Bruce. Over again, to the right, down to where it's down, straight on down from where you are. There you go. Where that was unable to break that liquidity, I would say any chance to the downside without any liquidity below is not something that I would want to be exposed to. But in general, like I say, most all of the liquidity is above the price action, so I wouldn't be expecting for higher prices, which it did. Right?
Okay, good stuff. So let's see, Duzman, any questions?
Question wise, just give me a sec. Let me pull it.
Jump over to this one as well.
Yeah, so like when it comes to triggering structures in structured trades and order flow trades, what are some things they both have in common?
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand the question.
I don't either.
Yeah, no worries. So like there's certain triggers that are order flow related and certain that are structured, but in terms of both of those coming together, what are some things that they share in common?
Well, I mean, I can give my quick assessment
Sure.
on it. And in terms of structure, this is where price went. This is where price went. But now we're looking for order flow within the structure, right? And I think I don't know, like I had said in here, I see this. I see it not coming up into this yet. I see the heavy selling starting to come in. Buyers can't make it back up. You see the heavy selling again. I would be looking for it down here. John has a great point though, that once he sees it come back down in here and it can't go further, and maybe you get another structural break here on a very small time frame, right? This is a structure break. This is a little back and forth here, and then look at that big volume dot here. So it's below the swing here, it's into this liquidity here, and it's not looking like it wants to trade into this liquidity down here. You got buyers coming back in now, and I'd be looking forward to trade back up into here. It does, and then it pulls back, and then what John is looking for overall is unfolding. It just trades right up into that high liquidity there. I don't know if that answers your question in terms of structure and liquidity and order flow.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Overall, that the sense I'm getting is that they're in tandem with each other, and it's just a matter of recognizing the behavior in the order flow through the structure.
Exactly, and I can't wait to pass this on to John, because I know I heard him and I kind of interrupted him. I'm sorry, John.
So you can break it down, to components. And for me, liquidity always comes first. Where's the balance of liquidity? So you always have, throughout this entire chart range, you have liquidity up at 63.45. And that stays in the book. Now you also have it down below at 63.20. So it's kind of a even distribution here in terms of liquidity. You could make a case either way, except, like I said, once it made that pivot where Bruce was just talking about, sellers unable to break the liquid support. If you look up from there, there's newly added liquidity up there at 63.42, and then you still have liquidity in the book at 63.45, and you have the large volume dots trading in that direction. So there's two things. First, there's the component of liquidity. Where are the resting orders? Where do they want to engage the market? Where are they willing to trade? And then you see the volume trading to it. Is it trading to those areas with larger volume or lesser? If it's trading to it with larger volume, then you can make a case that that should continue. There's volume moving in that direction. And that was the reason why I said my predisposition would be more towards the upside for those two reasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Pretty clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and in general, I think you you know, you got some pretty nice comments there, and
Yeah, Bruce, if you don't mind if I check in real quick.
Sure. Go ahead, Vinny.
Yeah, just real quick, you know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, not really talk, just talk about 30 seconds. You know, you talked about, you know, order flow and structure. You know, trend breaks can be considered a structure, and order flow can be considered, you know, passive orders absorbed, where the order is pulling lower or higher. Iceberg orders as well, you know, which is part of the MBO package. I'm not sure if you have that as well, but that's some of the some other things I can just toss into the puzzle for you. Back to you, Bruce.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what where I was kind of going, Vinny, was exactly this. It's like structure is made by the price action, which is reliant on the order flow. So you know, it's a context between the two. Like if there's liquidity here and buyers want it, the order flow is going to show you that. Like these are big volume aggressors, you know, volume dots and aggressive buyers who want to trade up to here. Okay, in this area in here, we see big volume dots in here, but trading into high liquidity above the swing right in here. And the structure, why can't it break out? Well, because it's being absorbed. And then look how the sellers come in, and the aggressive sellers, and move it away from that area. So the this area in here becomes another structural area, and you can just go across with a rectangle here. Basically, I mean, this is another retest back up to it, and there's no volume, or very little. There's no volume. There's very little. There's no volume in here. Right, and then you get sellers in here, and you've already got sellers in here, and you got another big seller in here, and that's where I would be looking for it to trade back down into some of these areas here. But we get a pullback, and we get one more shot, and then we get this kind of what John was talking about. Like it can't go lower. It doesn't want that liquidity. We get buyers who do want liquidity, but they want this liquidity up here. So you can't have one. The structure and the order flow go hand in hand.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and fantastic work. You've been putting a lot of effort in, and a lot of you know, markups and in the chat and everything. So and it looks like you're getting a lot from it as well. So thank you for everything, Dusman.
Yeah, no worries. it's a great help for me as well. I appreciate you all. If it wasn't for y'all, I don't think I'd understand the software as half as I would. So yeah, appreciate it.
Well done. Well done. Yep.
Let's see. I just want to say, like, you know, it's really nice to be back after a few weeks away. And I just want to show my appreciation to you guys, really, you know, thinking about it when, you know, on holiday. You guys are making this happen, like Duzman, like we just had mentioned. So you're putting in the effort. And, you know, we've got really great coaches here. We've got Vinny, we've got John, we've got others here that are away on holiday now this week. But really very supportive, a really great group. And I really appreciate it. And that's just wanted to voice my point of view here. Thank you guys.
Good stuff.
Thank you,
Yeah, you're
Robert.
welcome, Bruce. Then
So
yeah, you're welcome.
Vinny, take us out.
Sorry, I keep interrupting everybody, but I just want to say thank you, Bruce, and welcome back from your vacation. It's so great to have you back. You know, and I'll tell you, I got to look at that video series a second and third time and I got to post more because I want a hoodie. So thanks again for all the work you've done, guys, and right back at you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll catch up next Thursday with you. And in the meantime, we'll see you over in the Bookmap Academy room.
Good deal. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.